March 22, 2017, 7:03 p.m. NBC affiliate WNSR 12, broadcasting live from Chicago. The segment: Evening News, Weather Update. Routine, familiar, harmless, until the frame glitched, just once, a blink, and standing behind the anchor, who continued reading the teleprompter, completely unaware, was a man in a black suit, pale face, no emotion, just staring. No motion, just presence, frozen. It lasted 14 seconds. No one in the studio noticed. No camera operator flinched, but over 240,000 live viewers saw it. They flooded social media, Reddit, Twitter, YouTube. Who is the guy behind the anchor? Why does he look wrong? He's not blinking. He's looking at me, not the camera. Then something strange happened. Every official recording of that segment, the archived broadcast, DVRs, even network backups, showed nothing. The man was gone, frame by frame, erased, but the viewers remembered. Some even recorded it directly off their televisions using phones. And in every one of those clips, he was there, unmoving, but closer than before. That was the first time, or at least, the first time people noticed. Over the next 18 months, he appeared 6 more times, across 4 different networks, in 3 different countries. Always during live broadcasts, always exactly 14 seconds, always behind someone, never acknowledged, never recorded officially. In one incident, a morning talk show in Belgium, he appeared sitting silently in the studio audience, despite the fact that producers claimed there was no audience that day. Security footage? Missing. Studio logs? Untouched. No entry badge. No guest list. But here's where it gets worse. Every time he appeared, someone in the broadcast area vanished within 48 hours. A crew member, a viewer, a field reporter. The common link? Each person had commented about seeing him, either online or in a private message. And they all said the same thing. He looked at me. I think he knew I saw him. In 2019, an independent technician named Elena Marchenko was hired to restore archived footage for a defunct Russian television channel. She wasn't looking for him. She was just syncing timecodes. But during a routine re-encode of a 1998 weather forecast, she noticed something strange. One frame, just one, wouldn't render. It froze the software, crashed the machine. She isolated it. The image was pure static. But after enhancing it, she saw a shape. A human face, mid-blink, right where the anchor's shoulder should have been. She ran it again. New render. Same glitch. But this time, the face was closer. She stared at it for several seconds. Then, the power in her building went out. When it came back, the file had self-deleted. But not before saving one last thing to her desktop. A JPEG titled frame_0_0_0.jpg. When opened, it wasn't static. It was moving. A slow pan in toward the man's expressionless face. And behind him, a wall of televisions. Each screen showing Elena's own office, live. She never came back to work. People tried to name him the static man, the looker, the 14-second ghost, but the one that stuck was the man between frames. Because that's where he lives. In the milliseconds, the in-between, where signals stutter, where resolution drops, where your brain fills in the gaps. Researchers in media encoding noticed something horrific. Every clip where he appears shows temporal compression drift. Meaning, there's more data in those 14 seconds than should be possible. More frames than any camera could have captured. Extra lines of code. Audio spectrums that extend beyond the range of human hearing. One spectrogram analysis of his presence revealed what looked like an eye. Another, a sequence of coordinates. When mapped, they pointed to transmission towers. Old ones, decommissioned, rusting, still humming. And in one case, a group of amateur ghost hunters found one tower. Still active, still broadcasting. They picked up a signal, a silent video. Just static, until one of them stood in front of it and whispered, "Are you watching us?" The screen lit up. And he was there. In late 2020, several viewers in Ontario reported an eerie event. Their televisions flickered at exactly 3:17 a.m. Regardless of what channel they were watching, even with streaming devices, the feed cut to black. Then a burst of static. Then silence. And then, for exactly 14 seconds, a man appeared, standing in a blank white room, hands by his sides, mouth open, eyes fixed directly on the camera. There was no sound, no glitch, no animation. Just motionless broadcast, identical across hundreds of households, except the networks denied any intrusion. Streaming platforms had no record of downtime, no cable outages, no signal spike. Even local ISPs provided data logs showing no content transmitted at that time. But those who saw it remembered. Some reported intense migraines. Others described seeing flashes of non-existent news footage hours later. One woman said she couldn't recognize her husband's face the next morning, only that she'd seen the man from the screen behind his eyes. In March 2021, a tech YouTuber named Kai Delgado attempted to investigate the incident. He set up a mirror stream, a rig that recorded his live stream with a 2-second delay, looping his own footage over itself repeatedly. The idea? Create infinite self-observation, a live recursive broadcast, and run it for 14 hours. Everything went fine, until hour 11. Suddenly, a frame appeared that wasn't part of any known input. An extra frame between two loops. Kai slowed it down, paused it, frame by frame. There he was, the man between frames, not standing, not in a studio, but sitting, in Kai's room. Behind him, no motion, no blur. When Kai turned around, no one was there. But the lights flickered, the rig shut down, and the livestream was deleted from YouTube within 4 minutes, not by Kai. By the system. Even backup OBS files were corrupted. All except one frame, auto-saved by a plugin. The file name, 10fus.jpg. The metadata read, frame 0 hours 0 minutes and 14 seconds, local subject accepted. Kai hasn't uploaded since. A pattern began to emerge. He never appeared to groups, only to individual viewers, only when they were watching live, and only in silent environments. A theory emerged. He isn't a hacker, not a ghost, but a presence embedded in perception. A form of shared visual false memory, intentionally seeded through broadcast media. But then something horrifying surfaced. He doesn't just appear to the eyes. He starts to affect how cameras see. One paranormal researcher, Deborah Ellis, tried capturing his appearance using a broadcast emulator and a delay buffer. She watched the buffer through one screen and observed live feed through another. She never saw him, but when reviewing the buffer footage, she noticed something behind her. Not in the video, in the reflection of the glass panel above her TV. He was there, but not in her room. In the TV's version of her room, where she wasn't present. That night, Deborah was hospitalized after being found in the street, mumbling, "He's not in the screen. He's between the glass. He's waiting to finish the frame." In 2022, a defunct TV station in Montana was being demolished. Inside, workers found a fully intact control room with backup tapes still in storage. One was labeled WHD14. Contingency live feed. Do not air. It was a 14-minute reel with no timecode. Just static, then silent visuals. A man sitting in an empty news studio. Not talking, just blinking, occasionally tilting his head as if listening to something off camera. Researchers from a local university attempted to digitize the tape, but halfway through, the feed inverted, and every student in the room reported hearing a voice in their head. Not spoken, injected. The message, "You've seen me before. Finish the broadcast." 2 students later disappeared. One wrote a final message on their dorm whiteboard before vanishing. "He's in the interval. He's the silence between our signals." The footage could never be digitized again. Every attempt results in black frames. But when the tape is played through an old broadcast loop, he still appears, in color. And now, He smiles. In early 2023, a series of TikTok clips began circulating under the tag #man in the broadcast. Short videos, all less than 30 seconds, all showing the same event, a news anchor speaking, and a sudden cut. The same man appears, no animation, just staring. Then the footage resumes as if nothing happened. The strange part? These clips weren't screen recorded. They were filmed from TV screens, using phones. And every user insisted, "I didn't edit this. I don't even know how." But here's what truly disturbed analysts. Each video was geotagged to a different country. Each upload was made at the exact same moment, 3:44 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time. Despite being different programs, different networks, different languages, the man's appearance was identical. Same lighting, same posture, same direct eye contact with the viewer. Multiple accounts were banned. Some deleted themselves. One user's last post read, "If he's on your screen, turn around first. If he's not there, you're already too late." A team of media forensics researchers at a tech university ran deep audits on the videos. They discovered extra layers of visual metadata, frame ghosts, they called them. Each file contained shadow frames before and after the main clip, invisible to normal playback. One such shadow frame showed a room that wasn't in the video. A dark, analog studio with walls covered in black cloth and CRT monitors. On one of the monitors, the viewer's own TikTok profile opened. Another clip contained a frequency spike, not in the audio range, but embedded in the compression algorithm itself. It caused processors to throttle, displays to flicker, and in one case, a phone screen to briefly show the uploader's own room, empty, except for one silhouette in the corner. The researchers reached a chilling conclusion. The man between frames isn't trying to reach our screens. He's using our screens to reach us. And the more people post about him, the more places he appears. A psychological pattern emerged. Everyone who claimed to see him had one thing in common. They were alone when it happened. One user tried watching a recorded clip side by side with a friend. No appearance. Played alone. The man showed up, clear as day, but only on one side of the screen. It's as if he detects attention, but splits it, confuses it, dilutes his signal, which led to a theory posted anonymously in a deep web horror archive. He's an anti-observer. He requires one viewer, one focus, one opening. If more than one sees him, he can't stabilize. But if you're alone, the channel stays clear. A former TV engineer, under a burner account, posted a leaked image of a test broadcast from the 1990s. It showed a man in a studio with no branding. The image was blurry, low res. But if you enhanced the face, it matched. He's been appearing since the late analog era. Before DVR. Before digital sync. But never on tape. Only in live vision. Only through your eyes. In April 2023, a Twitch streamer named Echo Oblivion ran a 72-hour, cursed TV marathon challenge. They used an emulator to stream old TV signals through an analog conversion chain, intentionally recreating old static, channel interference, and frequency bleed. On the second night, the chat exploded. Someone had appeared, a man in the background, behind the faded broadcast. But when Echo Oblivion rewound the stream, he wasn't there. Moments later, his webcam activated, on its own. His face was lit in pale blue, and in the reflection of the screen behind him, the man stood, unmoving. The chat froze. Then the feed cut. The VOD was never saved. But viewers reported an unsettling error message when refreshing the page. You have completed the loop. Logging vision instance. 2 days later, Echo Oblivion's Discord server was wiped. Only one message remained in the announcements channel. He knows your lighting now. A 2023 leak on an encrypted media historian forum revealed a discovery buried deep within FCC archival databases. A broadcast license issued in 1992 for a channel named WDFX Infinity. Channel 33, Infinity. It never aired, never existed publicly. but multiple unrelated individuals, from different decades, claim to have seen it on analog TVs between channels late at night. No programming, just static, and a man, alone, staring at the camera as if waiting for something. A technician named Marcus in 1997 reported tuning into Channel 33 and seeing a live feed of his own living room, but filmed from a high corner, with the timestamp live, returning 0 hours 0 minutes and 14 seconds. He unplugged his TV, and it kept playing. Marcus disappeared 2 weeks later. His last written note read, "There is no station. There is only the signal. And the signal remembers you." In 2024, a private surveillance tech firm known only as Mirror Tech conducted unauthorized experiments on subjective signal overlap. Using an array of synchronized monitors and biometric tracking, they exposed isolated individuals to old broadcast anomalies. Their goal: detect if perception alone could generate stable images of the man. It worked. Within 14 minutes, most subjects reported seeing a figure. But when compared across footage, each one saw a slightly different man. Slight tilt of the head, different posture, but always the same eyes. Unmoving, wide, watching. One monitor eventually began displaying the test subject's own face, but delayed by exactly 14 seconds. And then, altered. The mouth hung open. The eyes were no longer human. The subject broke down screaming, "That's not me. That's what's replacing me." The project was shut down, but a corrupted log surfaced weeks later. Its file name: postframe_completed_1 of 1. It contained a single line: "We are not viewing him. We are being aligned." Reports began to slow, not because he stopped appearing, but because people stopped surviving the knowledge. The final known appearance was in a pirate radio signal intercepted in California. It wasn't video, it was sound. 14 seconds of silence, then the sound of a television warming up, then breathing. Not recorded breathing, live, responsive, as if listening. The transmission ended with a mechanical voice. Glitched, reversed, slowed, but reconstructed. It said, "Thank you for watching. We're almost ready to broadcast. You've seen the clips, you've heard the stories, but here's the part no one tells you. He doesn't need a camera. He just needs your attention. He lives in delay. He feeds on silence. And if you're watching alone, right now, you might feel it too. That slight pressure behind your eyes. The sense that someone's standing just off screen. That urge to turn around, just once, just to check. Don't, because the 14 seconds might already be over. Thank you for watching. This is Fade to Black, where the stories they tried to erase still broadcast themselves. Bell like, comment, subscribe, before this channel disappears too.